Hey there. Hi, everybody. We're live, and this is Small Changes Are Huge. I am Crystal Williamson. Remember, if you make one small change every day, you'll be surprised where you are within a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So make that small change now. Again, Crystal Williamson, and today is December 17th, 2014. Surprisingly, it was 20, 30 degrees about 5 or 6 days ago in New York City. Now it's 50, of course. And it's interesting because I normally don't get sick, but I'm in a new group of people. I have a new group of friends, a new job, and a couple of other new things. I did some short traveling last week. It was last week, yeah, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I had to take the Amtrak train and come back home. Not too far, about an hour and a half, 2 hour ride. But I think with that, I got a little sick. It happens. And I was probably a little tired too, running myself down. So I felt like it was, if you would have spoken to me yesterday at about 5 o'clock, I was like, I am just not doing the small change. I'm just not going to do it. And I totally forgot. I came home, I did a couple of things, which I'll talk about, and it changed my mind within a very short period of time. Ooh, a little bit of a commercial there for what we're going to talk about it. So, yeah, again, small changes are used, and we're here today. And every once in a while, I'll show you a little bit of a PowerPoint that I have. It's just one or two pictures. And then I'll give you a little bit of coaching. Again, my philosophy and the philosophy that I work with in my clients, if you make one small change every day. So, what are you doing today? Just one small change. You might think it's small, but guess what? They pile up over time, and before you know it, you're in a much better place. So let me just share the little bit of the PowerPoint, and let me see, screen share. Good, there we are. And I've had people who've asked me about this very first slide that we see here. This small changes are huge. This rainbow was a particular day when I was in the very sad state. And it was about 5 years ago, I think, about 5 or 6 years ago. I was in a very sad state, but they're rarely in New York City. There are clear days, there are wonderful days, but you really don't see a rainbow. There's not a lot of high buildings in my area, but that rainbow was just very, very telling. Just very, very telling. Sorry about the little picture in the front. But anyway, we're here. Small changes are huge. And like I said, take one small action every day. And it's very important that you acknowledge it and you see what happens. So for the past couple of weeks of coaching, and we have bi-weekly coaching. So we were here 2 weeks ago and 2 weeks before that. But these were some of the topics that we spoke about. We decided on what small action we were going to take today, and we knew how frustrated we would get. And now I've taken the action. Now what? And you keep going along. And then when you have doubt, what do you do? And again, you get some people that you know that might be able to kind of jump with you and go with you on that upward pattern. And sometimes those people are not the people that are closest to you, and you know who I mean. And I'm thinking, if you don't know people personally, then just create your own group of people, create your own tribe, because guess what? They will find you, and then you just acknowledge that they're your tribe. And once you get through that discipline, you'll realize that you'll find a lot of joy. And oh, that's me when I'm feeling 100%, 1,000% better. Normally, I'm on all thrusters, uh, so I have a lot of different things going on. But I love everything I do, and I do it to the nth degree. And like I said, if you had to take a picture of yourself, are you this dude who's like lying down here, and he's not even lying down here? I mean, come on. Is this you at the end of the day? I mean, actually, is this you not even at the end of the day? Is this you at the beginning of the day when you wake up in the morning? Oh God, I gotta go to work. Oh, I can't stand this job. So is this you? Is this you, this dude here, or is this you? I was trying to find somebody who looks similar, the same type of person. Is this you? You're just so kind of joyful and happy and free. You're joyful and happy and free, whatever happens. So is that you? And I'm going to tell you the truth. Is that me? Not all the time. Not all the time. Mona Lisa will tell you I'm not like that all the time, right, girl? And it's interesting because, again, yesterday, actually, let me start from the beginning. So last week I was in Philadelphia. From Philadelphia to New York is about a 90-minute Amtrak ride. And I was the weekend before, I was around some people who were sick. And like I said, I never get sick. But unfortunately, on the train, it's an enclosed area and people were coughing and hacking. And I still washed my hands. And by the time I got back to New York on Wednesday, I was feeling, my throat was scratchy. I wasn't feeling well. It got worse on Thursday of last week, worse on Friday. I did do something on Saturday and Sunday. I even went to a yoga class on Sunday. I did feel a little bit better, but I'm telling you, Monday, I was one of those people on the New York City subway coughing. And yes, I was coughing into my sleeve, but I was coughing and people were like, yeah, I was one of those people. So luckily I wasn't spitting up anything, guys. So I'm sorry to get gross, but you know how we live in New York. Anybody who doesn't live in New York and doesn't see some of the things that happen, I think that's probably why we're so tough. But anyway, I was one of those people who was coughing into their sleeve and getting a little lozenge and then just continuing on my game and trying not to look at anybody, by the way. But it was really interesting because all I had to do yesterday when I came home from work, I straightened up a couple of things. I had my dinner. And then suddenly all I had to do was remember, guess what? All I have to do is not stay in this mindset of, you're sick, I want to get better, I'm sick, I want to get. I can't stay in that mindset. All I had to do was change my mind. That's all I had to do was change my mind. And not this Pollyanna bullshit way that you see some people, I'm well, that, that's the biggest pile of crap that I've ever heard. It really is. I was not thinking that, but I did listen to a few things, and I started thinking of a couple of affirmations and a couple of things. But let me just show you again a little PowerPoint. And oh, I'm sorry, let me actually share my screen. So yep, I actually went from this dude who's got his head on the desk to, now granted, I'm not just jumping for joy, but I'm actually feeling a lot better than I did yesterday. And this is the thing that I did. All I had to do, again, was change my mind. And a great song, it's funny, for years I actually thought this was by The Temptations. It was by Eddie Kendricks, who was one of the lead singers of the Temptations. I know I'm dating myself. I know people are probably Googling The Temptations, but Eddie Kendricks, you need a change of mind. And this was a big thing for me. It's not just about changing my mind. I started singing around my house. So I know I'm not the best singer in the world, but I started singing not just this song, but a couple other songs around my house. And then I realized last night about 10 p.m., it's like, wow, I've been singing around the house. I haven't done any of that since I've been home. And I see some people in the chat room, don't make fun of Philly. I like Philly. Okay, I like Philly. It's a wonderful city. I was there on and off over a year ago, like for a month over a year ago, for a particular project I was in. And all I had to do was change my mind. It just amazed me that all I had to do was just change my mind. And again, I went from being kind of in the doldrums and down and kind of depressed to not being 100% upbeat, but just feeling like there's a glimmer of possibility that things will get better. Just a glimmer, just a little tiny, minuscule, minute, infinitesimal. Wow, my throat just kind of did something right then. But infinitesimal possibility that I could get better. And I was thinking, I could get better by the time I go to work tomorrow, which was this morning. And then I started thinking that, I already can feel rejuvenating in my body, and I wasn't feeling worse. I started thinking about, like I said, that particular song. I had done some yoga. I did some yoga yesterday too. I like to do yoga. But the big thing is, it wasn't the physical stuff that I did. It was that I changed my mind. And it might seem, because it's Crystal, that's just too damn simple. That's just too damn simple. But guess what? Simplicity really is the most powerful vehicle for moving ahead. That's right. Simplicity is really the most powerful vehicle to move ahead. And I said that. I said that. So the more simple your solution is, the more simple your solution is, that's how it will be more powerful. And when something is that powerful, it's that powerful, it will really stick with you. And the whole thing about changing my mind has, that's actually occurred to me previously, many times in my life. So it's 2014. About 2.5 years ago, I was going through something. And again, I spoke to a friend and she helped me change my mind. Now, she didn't tell me, you should do this, you should. She didn't tell me that. She just helped me change my mind. She helped me get to a place. And she wasn't a coach. She was just a friend of mine. Unfortunately, this friend of mine, she passed away in October. Linda, my friend Linda. But she helped me change my mind. And about 5 years before that, about 3.5 years before that, excuse me, that's when I saw the rainbow. And that's where that picture came from. And I started thinking about a lot of those times in my life, that all I had to do was, all those times was just change my mind. And it amazed me that I was sick yesterday. My throat was sore because I have my tonsils, so it was right, I can't even point, but it was kind of right where the tonsils are, where it was hurting. And now it's like stuff I can swallow and stuff is back to normal. All I had to do was just start to change my mind. I really did. Now, yes, I am having, this is tea right here. Now it's probably lukewarm tea at this point, but I have been drinking tea. I have been drinking more water. I normally try and drink when I go to the PowerPoint, so you don't see it. But guys, I'm going to need to drink once in a while because of the throat. But so I've been doing a little bit more of that. So yes, I've been doing the physical thing, but also I've just been doing the thing of just changing my mind and just saying, again, it's not this, oh, I'm well, or I'm not sick. It's just my body has a way to rejuvenate itself, and it's rejuvenating itself now. And that's one of the things I did to just change my mind. That's one of the things I just did. It's like, this, I'll be able to get through this. My body is strong. It's funny, I was in the supermarket about an hour and a half ago. Let me see, what time is it? About 2 hours ago, I was in the supermarket and another old song came up. Two old songs, and I was singing in the shopping, in the supermarket. One came up, I Am Woman. God, I'm going to really show my age by that. If you Google that song, I think that was 1970. And then Shame came up by Evelyn Champagne King. I Am Woman is by Helen Reddy. Evelyn Champagne King did Shame, I think about 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 20 years ago. Great song, hot. And it's funny because the cashier is probably 20 years old and he knew the song. He was like, so why should I be? And it was just funny that it was happening. And I was laughing because he said, so how are you, dear? And I said, I wasn't feeling well yesterday, but I'm feeling much better today. He said, well, you look good because you were singing. And I said, yeah, I do feel much better because, and I did say to him, I said, the body has a way to rejuvenate. And so, that's so true. And it is so true. That's what he said to me. It is, all that is so true. But you really have to, at least this is what I had to do. I had to also always change my mind. So I'm sure you have, it's holiday time, it's Christmas time. If you're Christian, and I have several people that I know that celebrate Hanukkah. Or if you, it doesn't matter what religion you are, if you want to give gifts or you're just giving of yourself, it doesn't matter if it's this time of year or any time of year, you're just giving of yourself. And that's how I always think of gifts for Christmas. And this is, I'm a Christian person. I was baptized Episcopalian. So anybody, if you've never heard of Episcopalians, if you know Bishop Tutu, if you heard of Bishop Tutu in South Africa, Bishop Tutu is Episcopalian. So Bishop Tutu, I'm Episcopalian. He didn't, he didn't baptize me or anything, but Episcopalians, of course, I'm Christian, and very, when I give gifts to people, I quite often think of a giving from the heart. So I'm more about giving from the heart than giving from kind of monetarily. And yes, sometimes some people get gift certificates, some people get cards, some people get little candles. What I've done sometimes is just given people kind of cute little candles and put like a little bow around it, and Merry Christmas or whatever, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever the thing may be. But I just give a little something to someone. I actually gave a friend, she liked my Mona Lisa, so I took a real nice picture of it. I printed it out in color and I sent it to her. So now she has Mona Lisa in her house too. But what's interesting is for all of these things, all I had to do, in this hustle and bustle time, with family, with friends, with people you don't like, with people you do like, and you kind of have to hang around with. You ever been to an office party, an office Christmas party, and there's people like, I really don't want to sit next to this person, but there they are. What are you going to do? Like grumble the whole time? Oh, this was horrible. Grumble and curse, grumble and curse. And guess what? I've done that. It don't work in the long run. What I had to do, again, was change my mind. Change your mind. Remember what Eddie Kendrick said? You need a change of mind. So that's what I did to make myself feel better. And that's what, again, I suggest to you to get yourself to the next level, because there's going to be times when you're running your business, when you're with your family, when you're at your 9-to-5 job, when you're driving, when you're in any type of transportation, when you're in an incredibly frustrating situation that you really are powerless over. You ever stand in line? Now, New Yorkers, we're kind of masters at standing in line, but that don't mean we're good at it, and that don't mean we behave either. But we stand in line a lot, and we've gotten it down to an art. But if you've ever been in a situation where you're just incredibly powerless over it, and I don't mean actually something that's just mildly frustrating. It can be something like you're waiting for chemotherapy. Someone you love has Alzheimer's or dementia. It could be that you're waiting for your unemployment to come in. It could be you're waiting for your manager and you know that the ball is going to drop. It's just, there's so many situations that can happen. It could be that you know you're going to lose a particular game that you're playing that is like just your be all and end all. I remember my, I had a stepson, and he was just so into his basketball team, and they just knew they were going to lose because it was like they were like 25 points in the hole, and there was like less than 2 minutes left in the game, and I could see his face. And you know what I did? I just winked at him. That's all I did, was I just winked at him. And he said to me, when you winked at me, I felt a little bit better. I said, you could see me winking at you? He said, yeah, I could see you winking at me. He said, because you also kind of smiled a little bit, so I could see that. And you see what he did? All he did was change his mind. And, this is my personal thing about teenagers and children. I give them a lot of credence what they do, because children, teenagers, anyone that is your guardian, that you're the guardian over, we may think that basketball game, it's just a basketball game, everything, but that's like their life. They don't have bills to pay. They don't have those major responsibilities, but that is the most important thing to them in that moment. And what I always do is I acknowledge them. I acknowledge them. Whatever they're doing, I acknowledge them instead of negating, oh, that's all right. It'll be fine. You'll win the next one. And like, you know what? Bull. Guess what? I know it's tough and you can feel your feelings, but what do you learn from this? And it's funny, I broke up. I was dating his father, and I broke up with his father, and he and I are still friends on Facebook. This my ex's son and I are still friends on Facebook, and he hasn't listened to these in a couple of weeks. I'm just kidding. But it's just interesting because now he's getting God, I'm old. He's looking to get a master's degree in education, and a lot of that stuff that he acknowledges with like his younger sister, with other things, it's the same thing. All you have to do is change your mind. What am I learning from this, and how can I move forward with this? So the first thing I did, again, all I did was change my mind. Remember, this is small changes are huge. Small changes are huge. So what am I going to do to change my mind? And then do it. And that's what I did. I did it not only last night, just one time. I changed my mind, but I did it for a couple of hours. Like, I think I thought about changing my mind just before 8 o'clock. So at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, about 10:30, I was tired, so I went to bed. Normally, I don't go to sleep at that hour, but I did. And the next morning, I felt better. And as the day went on at work, it was busy, but I kept thinking my body is rejuvenating, and I'm feeding it good food, and I'm getting enough rest, and I'm not drinking a lot of coffee. So I only drank my 1 cup. And then I had just a lot of and I'm feeling, like I said, much, much better today. And I'm sure as I go on, you probably still hear a little bit of nasalness. I do feel a touch scratchy when I keep talking, and I need to sometimes get more water. Here's my mug. When I need to get my mug with more water. So yes, I still do need it. I'm not all the way out of the woods, but I can see the end of the forest at this point. So what I want to do is a couple of things with everybody. First of all, remember I said you have to change your mind. So this is the big thing. This is your small change assignment. So it's interesting. Again, maybe, well, when you go to the supermarket, so I know this one on the left is like a real adding machine, but these are some old cash registers where they could make change. You remember how loud they were? So even if you had a couple of pennies you were giving someone, or a couple of nickels, it's like, oh, you need 12 more cents. If you put a dime and 2 pennies in, and you give it to the person and you put it in, even the current cash registers, they are noisy. You give somebody $1 and they are noisy. So your small change assignment is make that change. Make the change, that small change, and watch how noisy it gets over the next 10, 7, over the next 12 days. Over the next 12 days. Definitely make that small change your mind, and watch how powerful it will get. I'm telling you, very, very noisy, because when your mind is thinking of something differently, it kind of shakes things up. But it's a good thing, because your mind actually wants to be in a more positive light. Your mind doesn't want to be down in the doldrums. No, that's not what your mind wants. That's not what your body wants. That's not what your higher power wants. That's not what God wants. God wants you to prosper. And the universe. If you don't believe in a deity, then you think of the higher wisdom, the cosmos, what's out there, the collective feeling. Yeah, there's probably a couple of people who don't want you to be well, but you remember I told you, get your own damn group. you hang with the people that want you to do better, because when we all do better, if there's 7 or 8 of us, if we're all doing better, then we're all kind of going to be together, kind of moving forward. So, with that, and the small changes are huge. For today is Wednesday, December 17th, 2014. And again, I'm Crystal Williamson. Remember, I will put this in the YouTube channel that I'm giving away a 35-minute complimentary consultation. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I will put this in the YouTube channel, Small Changes Consult. I'm only taking appointments until December 27th, 2014. So you can make an appointment in January, or even you can make an appointment in February. I think my appointment calendar goes ahead 45 days or something like that. But I'm only making this available until December 22nd. A 35-minute Small Changes Are Huge complimentary consultation. And also remember, if you need one more gift, so tomorrow, which is December 18th, is the last day. You can order this book. It's it's not just a cyber day or a cyber, it's just cyber. Excuse me, it's just cyber, and it's $9.99. And the discount link, so if you do want it before Christmas, you have to order it by tomorrow. But this will be good, again, until December 27th. So if you didn't get one more gift, and you said, I want a book that might help me change myself little by little. So if you want it just for yourself, go ahead and order the book too. And it's a special, like I said, it's $9.99 until December 27th. Now, I do want everybody to know the next hangout. Oops, I'm sorry. The next hangout is actually going to be on the Wednesday, December 29th. Sorry, not Monday, but Wednesday, December 29th at 8 p.m. Normally, I have it 2 weeks, but 2 weeks from today is New Year's Eve. That's really damn scary, isn't it? 2 weeks from today is New Year's Eve. Next week is Christmas Eve, and 2 weeks from today is New Year's Eve. So I do want to have another Small Changes Are Huge for everybody before the end of the year. So Tuesday and Wednesday, actually from Tuesday until the end of the week, I am not going to be around. So I said, let me make it Monday. Boy, I really messed that up. I guess I'm still not 100%, guys, right? So it's going to be Monday, December 29th. And let me just put this in the chat room for people who are in the chat room. Okay, so it's Monday, December 29th. Will be the next Small Changes Are Huge group. There we go. That'll be the next one. Wow, I guess I do need to keep that small change in my mind and just keep going. Absolutely. So again, Crystal Williamson, Small Changes Are Huge. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I hope you have a wonderful December 17th, 18th. I hope you have a wonderful time. Stay well and make sure you make every moment huge. See ya.